I'm Meg Shaw and I'm a musician, artist, singer-songwriter, and I also own and sort of direct Local and Live. It was one of those lockdown ideas. Local and Live was me sat in my room thinking there's all this cool stuff going on behind the scenes but nobody can tell people about it because you can't do gigs. And the normal thing back in the day was you release a single, you do a gig, but all of a sudden you couldn't do that. So what can we kind of do to replace that? So Local and Live came of that. Started with just my friends. A few of my friends released some really cool stuff that I wanted to talk about and tell people about because they couldn't come and support them gig-wise. And then it just kind of grew into something that I never thought it would. It was only meant to be sort of a 3-4 week project for me to sort of, here's what I'm listening to, that's that. And then it became this sort of 3-year project so far of podcasts, radios, live gigs, all of that. And yeah, it really just became of me listening to my friends' songs and thinking they were cool. And it's just built from that, which is great. It's just incredible. Everywhere you walk, every street you go down, there's a musician or a creative or a producer that you've worked in the past. Because it is such a small city in the sense that geographically it doesn't spread very far. You can't go 5 seconds without bumping into someone, and we've had it ourselves before where you bump into each other and then that could lead to a job or that could lead to a collaboration. Everyone is just always up for working with each other, sort of helping each other out, and I've never been in a city, I don't think, that has been the same. Usually you sort of head down, even if you recognise someone, head down, walk the other way. So it's nice being in Liverpool where, you know, you can walk in Sefton Park and see a producer and a drummer that you've worked for in the 5 minutes that you go out of your house. There's no other place like it, really. I brought a mate up to Liverpool the other day and literally took him from Lime Street station to the Arts Bar, so the classic musician route. Everyone walks up Lime Street, up Bold Street and then up to Hope Street, and I crossed like 7-8 people and I felt very famous after that. The fact that you don't really need to take much transport to get anywhere. Like as soon as, like I live around here now, Sefton Park, but as soon as you get that 82 into town, you can go pretty much anywhere. You can go to the venue, then you can pop into the coffee shop and chat with a producer that you're trying to work with. Like you could spend all day on Bold Street and get pretty much everything done and bump into everyone on the way and get a coffee at the end of it. That's definitely sort of the dream in terms of location-wise and travel-wise, and just for the resources as well. Everyone knows everyone because it is so small. So you turn up to a meeting and then you all of a sudden realise how many people you work with as well, and it just makes life a lot easier than going to a huge city and not knowing anyone. So yeah, that's definitely a bonus with Liverpool. When you were telling me about the things you do before, the events really stuck out to me, because I'm sure a load of people have done this. I definitely have with like Local and Live stuff as well. Trying to find where all the events are is a pain. It's just so hard to find because some events are on Skiddle and like see tickets and Facebook and everything, and then others are just a poster down Bold Street, which is kind of handy, but like there needs to be a place where it's just there in black and white and you can sort of, even though they're all on different venues, it's like when you go onto Jimmy's website and see all their events in one go. You need that for the whole city. It's small enough where that can easily be done. I know it's not easy, but like I'm glad you're doing it. I feel like because the city is so built on either students or tourists that are coming here and might not know the cool places to go straight away, having something like this, they can say, well, here's all the events on tonight, here's all the events on this week, go to a few. Because as soon as you go to one, then you're sort of hooked in and you'll go to loads more. But having somewhere to start, especially, the events list is definitely something that I'll be using and I'll be showing a lot of people about, because it's kind of, you need that sort of tick list of how many gigs have you gone to this week? Oh, well, looking at this, I can show you exactly that. Also the conferences, I need something like that where you can go speak your thoughts about the scene or, you know, things that are going on, but actually have things to work on after you come out of that room, rather than just ranting to people for an hour and then being more angry when you leave the room because you've just spent the last hour moaning about an issue rather than actually trying to solve it. I can see myself getting involved with that and actually trying to make a difference, because you could just rant for an hour but you end up making a whole room of people sad rather than a whole room of people hopeful that there's going to be a change. So Liverpool just has such a friendly atmosphere that everyone there just wants to help each other out. The thing that sort of pops into my memory from sort of the Local and Live story was, obviously when it started it was radio show and gigs. That was kind of the realm it was in. For like funding reasons and all sorts, that fell through. And then it was because I was chatting to Liverpool Arts Bar, who I mean, the place just anyway is perfect for any sort of networking, any sort of event you want to put on, even like rehearsal space for dancers and stuff. I know a load of dancers use it for rehearsal space and actors as well. But I was just in there really sad, just chatting to one of the bar staff, because I lived with them, about how it wasn't a radio show anymore and what am I going to do? Local and Live's dead. It's been going a year and now it's gone. And then one of the staff literally just came up to me and said, do it here. And they were like, well, we see the sort of passion behind it and we see the audience that's already getting involved with it. We don't want it to stop, so just do it here. And that meant then the whole development on Local and Live. Suddenly it was a podcast, suddenly it was a live session every week, suddenly it was just something I couldn't even imagine. They sort of provided this platform for sort of over a year, which then meant Local and Live could continue the way it was and be sort of made into even bigger things, which, you know, they didn't have to do, and that just really warmed my heart. And that was definitely a point, especially after lockdown, where I thought, oh, this is why Liverpool is so cool, because I don't think anywhere else would have done that. And it was just so nice that that was able to happen, really. So